Hello and welcome to this session brought to you by the Academy of Practical Accounts in conjunction with your institution. In this session, we look at the recording of a cash deposit and money withdrawn from the bank account. How are they recorded? Now, normally we have a deposit slip, although these days you could take money to the bank without a deposit slip, and there's also a possibility of using an automated machine outside the bank. However, in most cases, you get some form of documentation to confirm the transaction. So in this session, we're going to look at the source documents. We'll look at the recording forms. We trace the double entry and identify the affected accounts. For a cash deposit, we've got a deposit slip number 56 here. So that money was deposited on the 30th, the amount of 15,180. Now, this deposit slip is designed to cater for both checks recorded above there and the cash below. So in this case, it's only cash, 15,180, and let's proceed to record this on our mobile device. Now, the form to use is number 3. Which is used for bank deposit, withdrawals, and transfers from one account to another. This is our form. Let us change the orientation to landscape. Now we need to drag this one to the left to have enough space for this. Okay. Now the date on the document is preset, 30th March. Okay, now what we need to do, there is a narration as well, and apparently the document number has come. And remember, for these forms that generate document numbers, we should copy the number from the form and record it onto the document to match the two. This is going to be in the software as a transaction and is going to be supported by this document, which will be found on the file for the next 6 years or so. Now, probably the first thing to do, can we modify this narration to just cash deposit? It's just a cash deposit now, which is the fastest way. Okay, we type cash there. And let's see, we scroll this way. Okay. Cash deposit. It's just a cash deposit. That's it. And the next thing to do is to identify the accounts. Where is the money coming from? Where is the money going to? The money is going to the bank account, and the bank account is pre-selected. Where is the money coming from? The money is coming from cash. So we click this drop down and select cash. Now we need to scroll up, or we type the account number. The account number I know is 212, so we type 212, the account comes, or we type the word cash. Okay, double click that. Now it hasn't responded. Let's do it. Let's type the word cash now. There we are. Yes, it's now there. Now the amount is 15,180, 15180. That's it. And we are now ready to save. So let's save and prepare for the next one, because we're going to use the same form. So we save that one, and the form remains on the screen. So the cash deposit has been recorded. Now we're going to a cash withdrawal. This is when we get money from the bank account. Now the bank statement has its number. It has its number, it's page number 43. That's a good way of identifying. But for the simplest form of accounting, we are trying to use one file for all the filing of documents. And we are generating a single sequence of numbering. The deposit slip was number 7, and this one automatically becomes number 8. And apparently the recording form has already generated the next number in the series is a number 8. So if your source document is not numbered, now is the time to copy that number and place it there. And this is going to match this saved transaction to the source document. Okay. Now this is a cash withdrawal. It's going to be a cash withdrawal. We're going to modify that narration and we type the word cash withdrawal. Now the next thing before we record the amount, where is the money coming from? The money is coming from the bank account and coming into the cash box of the business. It's now in the cash form into the business. So we are saying the money is going to cash, and that is CAH. We select that, okay, and it's coming from the bank account that is pre-selected. If you've got another bank account, we can select it, but in this case, bank 1 is our default bank account. Now, next is to record the amount. The amount is 40. So probably we drag that on there, and we're able to see both. So the amount to deposit is 40. And that's about it. We're now ready to save. We can save and close. Okay, and that is done. So the next thing to do is to trace the double entry, and that is on our device, and we're going to use the portrait alignment. Okay, we scroll down to periodic tasks and reports, scroll down to the general ledger, and that is going to be month 12 because we're recording for month 12. Month 1 there is nothing, so scroll down, and down there we have month 12. That's month 12. Okay, now just okay, we ignore that up there. Now we need okay, let's ignore that for a moment. Now here we're looking for the double entry, so we need to pinch down. And we're looking at the cash and the bank account. Those are the only two accounts that have been affected by these two transactions. Transaction number 7 was the depositing of 15,180. So it's debited on the bank account and it came from the cash account. So where it comes from, it's a minus, and where it goes to is a plus. Now, the withdrawal, which is transaction number 8, came to the cash account and it increases the balance, and it came from the bank account. Now, let's have a look at these and see the impact on their balances very quickly. Now, this is our cash account below here. Now let's try to see. I'm not sure what the balance was before that transaction. Let's. Oh dear. I didn't get the right balance. Now the bank account was probably that. Okay, we can. Okay, let's first look at the bank account. Let's confirm with the bank account. Now the bank account, do we see a balance? Yes. There are no other transactions. There are no opening balances. So what we see here should be complete. Let's see. There was cash deposit. We received 15,000. Okay, the cash account was more busy. So we initially had 400, then we received 15,000, and then there was a cash withdrawal. So we've got okay, there should have been 400 there. 400 there. Okay, let's see if the two do agree. 15,540. Yes, the two do agree. Now, what was the balance in the cash account? I can't probably. This is 105. Okay, what's the impact of this. No, we don't need to go into that detail. We don't need to go into that detail. Now, let's just look at the bank account here. It had a balance of 400. It received another 15,000. It goes to 15,580, and we withdrew 40, and it comes down 15,540. So the opposite effect was felt on the cash account. Like, I'm not certain what the balance was, and we don't have a, well, yes. So the cash balance has been worked out. Sorry about that. So the opening balance was 15,245 before that transaction. Now this one left the cash account, leaving a balance of 65, and then we received another 40 pounds, which leaves the balance at 105. So that would be the effect on these two accounts. Okay, now let's go back to our screen here. This is this is the bank statement where we extracted those source documents from. Now the double entry has been traced, and now we're going to have a quick look at which reports are affected by these transactions. Now we are actually looking at the cumulative impact on reports. Remember the A1, A2, B1, B2. Now these particular transactions affected the B2 only, but of course it's cumulative. Okay, that's the B2, and then of course the C1 is affected. These are trial balances. Then we look at L1, L2 also affected. We look at M1, M2 also affected, and that's about it. Now let's have a look at which report would show us something. Let's look at L2. Report L2. Remember what we looked at to trace the double entry was the monthly general ledger. We're now going to look at L2, which is the year-end bank account. So let's come here. We go back, and we come to the mini reports checklist, and we're looking for report L2 and report M2. Actually, we're going to see what we've seen in the periodic ledger because there are no transactions in other months. So we're looking at the bank one. We're looking at the L4. Let's look at the L4. Now, this is L4, which is the bank one account. So it shows the transactions, and we've said this is exactly as the periodic report because there are no transactions in other periods of the financial year. And then we also look at that should be M2. M2, yes, yeah. Let's look at M2. M2 is the cash account. Clicked the wrong button. Sorry, we're looking for report M2. M2. All right, that is the cash account. This should be the cash account for the whole financial year. Well, that probably brings us to the end of this session where we looked at how to record cash deposits and a withdrawal from the bank account. We looked at that cash deposit slip, and we also looked at the bank statement. And in case you've got any questions, please send us an email on admin@practicalaccounts.com, or you find us on Skype at Accounts Coaching. Thanks and bye.